What's up, beautiful besties? Welcome back to Turning Tides Tarot. My name is Alicia. Thank you all so very much for being here with me. I freaking love you guys. Honestly, we have such a freaking amazing tribe, loves. And I actually have something that I've been picking up on. So, as you clicked on this reading, bestie, you already knew exactly who popped into your head, right? And I gotta tell you something. This morning, this very same person, right, woke up with a huge realization, like lightning bolt, can't ignore it, staring at the ceiling kind of like realization. Okay. When they look back on your connection, okay, it finally hit them just how much time and energy they wasted worrying about what other people would think. Okay. Their family, their friends, their little judgmental peanut friggin' gallery. Okay. This person kept you hidden, bestie, right? Like you were some, I don't know, like a dirty little secret or something. And in reality, you were the best thing that ever happened to them. I gotta say that. You were the best thing that ever happened to them. And they realize how, no, they realize now, okay, how ridiculous this whole thing was, like sneaking around, avoiding being seen together in public, probably brushing things off instead of like standing up very proudly and saying like, this is the one I love, right? This is the one who lights me up. They know, bestie, that they were weak, okay? They know that they let fear of judgment really control them. And I gotta tell you, that realization is eating them alive. It really is. Because here's the gag. I feel like every single morning, you are the first thing that this person thinks about, okay? Before their feet even hit the floor, like you're on their mind, right? They miss you in ways that I feel like it cuts so deep that they can't even distract themselves anymore. The sound of your laugh, the little quirks that made you so beautifully different, the way you never really tried to blend in with the crowd, all of it, all of it. I really feel like they're obsessing right now, and I feel like they hate themselves, okay, for not cherishing you when they had the chance. Okay, so this person woke up today, knowing that they messed up big time, right? And they can't stop asking themselves, like, what would have been like if I just chosen love instead of fear? Okay, if I just own this connection and stop caring about whatever everyone else's like opinions of what they think. Okay, so the guilt, the regret, the longing, it's all bubbling up here, and they're finally realizing, finally how stupid they were, right? Forever trying to dim your light, by keeping you hidden. And so this is what I'm picking up on. This is what I've been picking up on this morning. And I'm going to ring the sound bowl. I'm going to call in spirit. And my first question, Bestie, is going to be, why did they feel like they had to do that? Like, let's get into it here in this reading. And we're really going to build this out to figure out what the heck was even going on with them. Okay. So you already know who it is. You already know, okay? Here, let's do the thing. Watch your ears, okay? And we'll call in spirit to the reading. Here we go. All right. I'm calling on spirit with so much love and so much gratitude. I ask for divine guidance as I interpret these messages. May they help us on our journey towards our highest and greatest good. I'm asking for love, joy, peace, abundance, and protection for myself, for you, and for all beings on the planet at this time. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay, why did they feel like they had to keep you hidden? That is, that's what I need to know right off the bat here. Why did they feel like they need to keep you hidden? If they love all these unique, wonderful things about you, then what's the problem? Like that's why. Okay, what do we have here? We have the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles. Why did they feel they had to keep you hidden? We have the Page of Two of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and what's under the deck here? We have the Ace of Swords. All right. So when I'm looking at these cards and I'm feeling the energy around it, there's one thing that just screams they already made their decision about you and this relationship, like before it even got off the ground. Okay. Because here's what I see: I see that this person was like really excited about you. Okay. They were curious, they were intrigued, right? They were ready to invest, right? And see where this thing could go and how it would grow, right? But then, and I'm telling you, I can feel this clear as day, someone in their circle made a slick little comment. Okay. They may have poked fun at you for being different, having your own vibe, okay, or your own opinions or these little quirks, right? And I feel like they even mocked something that you said, or the way you dressed, or the fact that you just didn't fit neatly into their tiny little box, okay? And your person, instead of standing up for you, instead of saying, actually, like, that's the one I'm into, that's the one that lights me up, they absolutely shrank, okay? They clammed up. And the Ace of Swords under the deck here is the truth. They really wanted to speak, but they were too scared of being judged themselves, okay? And so let's be so for real. These friends, so-called friends, or maybe it was a family member, okay? They're not even deep, okay? They're not deep at all. They didn't know your person's feelings, okay? They didn't know how much you actually mattered to them. They just felt triggered by you because you don't play it small, okay? You probably mirrored back their own insecurities without even trying, okay? And it definitely rubbed them the wrong way. So they threw shade, okay? And instead of protecting, what was real, your person really let these outside opinions control them. So yeah, I mean, they kept you hidden because they were scared. They were scared of judgment, scared of rocking the boats, scared that their little crowd, okay, would think that they were weak for loving someone who actually stands out, okay? And now that is the decision that is haunting the hell out of them. It is haunting the hell out of them, okay? And they can't seem to let it go, right? Like I said, you are the first thing that this person is thinking about in the morning. As soon as their feet touch the ground, you're already popped into their mind. And this is ridiculous to me. So I want to know, though, I'm going to expand out even further. Like, what about you, like, specifically made them afraid of how others would see the connection? I'm just going to clarify a little bit and dive a little bit deeper into that. Now, I want to say, Bestie, there's nothing wrong with you. Okay, this is not the reason why. I just need to know what made them so scared, right? What made them so afraid? Here's the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, that's a powerful energy. We have the Six of Pentacles. We have Justice. Oh my, you are quite powerful, I gotta say. The Eight of Swords. And under the deck, Temperance. Your energy, like I said, with this vibe here, you are extremely powerful. But let me tune in to get the specifics. Like I said, Bestie, this spread is giving so much power. It's very loud, okay? I can tell your energy is super loud, right? And it's giving me this picture of someone who, walks into a room and instantly draws eyes, right? You can't help it. You're magnetic, right? You're also balanced. You're fair. I feel like you're the kind of person who really stands up for what's right, okay? And you don't back down from calling out any kind of injustice. No, not you. No way. And I gotta tell you, that energy is intimidating as hell to very small-minded people, okay? Because you're not the type to just sit quietly and nod along when, something's wrong, right? You fight for the little guy. You're gonna speak your truth, even when it makes people uncomfortable. And while that makes you admirable and powerful, it also makes you, a target for people who live in fear and conformity. Let's be real. And this is where it gets messy. Your person actually admired those qualities about you. Like, they're super drawn to your fire, your boldness, your refusal to play it small, right? But their problem is that they've always been surrounded by people who live for appearances, okay? Fake friends, image obsessed family, people who are just terrified of rocking the boat, right? And deep down, that's their trauma too, okay? So I feel like your person, I gotta be so for real, has they also have this like streak of weird or like quirky or eccentric energy themselves, right? But they've never had the guts to show it. I feel like they keep it under lock and key, right? They blend in. They people please because I feel like the thought of being judged or of being, the outcast or, being seen for who they really are, I feel like that terrifies them, right? And so when you came along being so, loud and unapologetic, afraid to be, unafraid, sorry, I should say, to be different, you really triggered the hell out of them. And it's not because you're wrong. It's because you really mirrored back everything they've been suppressing like their whole life. Okay. You lit up all of their insecurities. And instead of leveling up to your frequency, they froze. Okay. They let the opinions of these fake, shallow people really dictate how they handled something real. So, Bestie, I mean, like I said, you were not the problem here. You're just too authentic for a crowd that thrives on, masks. Okay, they wear masks. Phonies, right? As Holden Caulfield would say. And I feel like your person, like they didn't have the backbone to face that truth, And I do want to know, like, why? Why do they care more about other people's opinions than their own happiness? Like, I know they have the insecurity. I know they have that fear of judgment, but there's something deeper going on, and I want to get to it. So, like, why? Why? We have the Hermit. I'm just curious, I'm curious. Your girl's nosy. We have the Knight of Swords. I'm always asking why. We have Death. We have the Queen of Swords. Oh my, okay. And that's the Five of Swords. It is all right. It looks like a Queen of Swords to me. The expression on this woman's face and the Two of Swords. Let me just show you a little bit of a close-up. Woo. Anyways, okay. All right, let's get into the vibe. Why? Well, we know for sure that, this person is super insecure, okay? Or they have been. They were. Let's just say they were, because I don't know what they're like right now. We haven't gotten that far yet. And I feel like this is someone who, has spent a lot of their life hiding, shrinking back and staying small themselves, right? Avoiding any kind of confrontation because deep down, they've been conditioned to fear rejection. Okay. I can see that very clear here. With the Hermit, it's someone who's always been kind of isolated in their own truth. Okay. They have layers of wisdom, right? They have quirks. They have originality inside of them. But instead of sharing that with the world, they keep it tucked away. And the why here is because somewhere along the line, probably in their childhood, they learned that stepping outside of the box meant getting punished, judged, or rejected, okay? Which is really sad, it really is. And with the Knight of Swords and Death, I am seeing that they do have those flashes of wanting to just rush in and speak their truth and claim their happiness. But when the fear kicks in, this Two of Swords, that's like paralysis and indecision, okay? They're basically telling themselves, like, if I just keep the peace, no one gets mad at me, right? But here's the drag, okay? Because, yeah, they've got trauma, but at the end of the day, they're a grown adult, all right? And instead of healing and instead of facing it, they chose the easy way out, right? And the Five of Swords says, they gave into like petty battles. Okay, they cared more about winning approval than they did about winning love. And they were more focused on protecting their fragile little ego than protecting this connection. So yeah, I mean, we can have compassion for their trauma. Absolutely. But we also have to call it what it is. And it's 100% cowardice, right? Like they let fear rule their choices. And they let fake friends or this judgmental family, right, dictate their happiness. And in the process, they lost something real, okay? Bestie, like they cared more about keeping up appearances than about keeping you. And that's the truth that they are choking on right now. This is what's going on, right? And so I want to know, what do they wish they could say to you right now? Okay? What do they wish that they could say to you right now? Let's see. I want to know. Okay. What's this? I think it came up in reverse. Oh, yeah, the Magician in reverse. Let's see what else comes out. What do they wish they could say to you right now? Five of Cups. Ooh, jeez. Not Six of Wands. Sorry, I'm just getting used to this one. I'm trying to find decks here. I love this deck. I haven't used it in a while, but I'm trying to find ones that have all their clothes on because I got dinged for nudity on the channel. Hold on, I just dropped this. I have so many decks. I'm just like, okay, which ones? Oops. Which ones are, which ones have their clothes on? Okay, anyways, let me tune in and see what they have to say to you. So if this person could sit in front of you right now, this is exactly what they'd say. All right. I can't stay quiet about this much longer. I've been pretending that I've got it all under control. But the truth is, I've been powerless. I let myself be manipulated by fear, by other people's opinions, and by my own insecurities. And I can't undo the past, but I also can't stop thinking about it. I'm replaying it. Like every single regret hits me the second I wake up. Okay, I can't undo the damage, but I've got to do something about it, I know I made you feel like you weren't good enough to stand beside me. But the reality is you were always out of my league, right? You were everything I wanted. Grounded, confident, radiant. Like you walk into a room and people notice. And instead of, rising to meet you, I shrank. Okay, I let myself be ruled by weakness, and I'm so ashamed for that. I'm so ashamed for that. I've been living in the shadow of that mistake ever since, okay? Because, the truth is, no matter how much time has passed, I still see you as the one. The one I should have chosen, the one I should have claimed, the one who deserved to be celebrated, not hidden. And the weight of all of this is absolutely crushing me. Like, I don't know how much longer I can keep pretending I don't feel this way. This realization, it's hit me so hard. Like I wasted something real. And if I don't do something about it soon, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. Okay? Like that's what they want to say. That's what they wish they could say to you right now. This is what's on their chest right now. Like they can't keep this bottled up forever, bestie. Absolutely not. It's too heavy. And I don't know, did I show you this or not? Pardon me. Underneath the deck is the 10 of Wands here. Like it is way too heavy on them. It's almost stressing me out to sit in the energy here. Like they're sitting on so much grief and guilt. And at the same time, they're starting to imagine like what it would actually feel like to step up and claim you out loud. Okay. But here's the thing, and I feel like you know where I'm going with this, right? Like imagining it and actually doing it are two very different things, okay? If you're wondering, whether they're going to ever grow that backbone, whether they're going to finally put some kind of action behind all this realization and regret, that is where we're going to dive deeper in the extended, okay? Because we need to know. Are they really going to live this, out loud? Are they going to live out loud? Like for themselves, not just, for you and the connection, but also for themselves, and of course, what would that even look like? And most importantly, would you be able to trust them if they did? Like, are they going to get rid of all these friends? Are they going to cut this group out? Like, are they going through a major awakening? Like that would be good to know. So if you're still interested in what is going on with this person, you might want to meet me there in the extended, bestie. And I appreciate any kind of energy exchange. It really does help support the work that I do. And it means the world to me. And for everyone else, if you just needed to know if it's finally hit them, the realization, it has, okay? It definitely has. So either, I will see you in the extended or I'll see you in our next reading. I am going to try to put out more readings on this channel as continue to grow our divine feminist tarot space. So, your girl's busy. and I love sitting here and reading with you I want it to be daily. I'm going to try to continue to post readings as much as possible. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking around. And if you like my vibe and you're new, you're more than welcome to join our tribe. Okay. We would love to have you. You guys are just the best. Thank you for all of your amazing comments and your likes and just for spending part of your day with me. Sending you lots of love. I'll see you in the extended or in the next reading. Bye. Hey besties, thank you so very much for your energy exchange. I'm just going to dive right into this extended reading. And my first question, most importantly, are they actually going to take any real action towards you? We know they have the realization, they have the regret, they got the guilt, they're feeling pretty dumb. So are they going to actually take any real action towards you? Let's find out. What do we have here? We have, I always get a chuckle when spirit serves the high priestess at me. It's like, wouldn't you like to know? Yeah, I would, but we got to clarify her. Okay, so we have the Five of Pentacles, the high priestess. Yeah, I would like to know. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Knight of Wands. What's under the deck? The Nine of Pentacles. I feel like this answers one of my questions. One of the questions that I posed at the very end of the first part of the reading. Okay, let's get into this.